watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Susan Tran in for Thusmeen Mahfouz. Let's talk about the forecast. We're talking about temperatures again that are stinging cold.
Singing, very well said. Another bitter cold night. Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb, maybe a little bit of a reprieve tomorrow.
Just a little. We'll jump up about 5 to 7 degrees across many locations, and that's why we're going to discontinue this DMV first warn day into tomorrow. I will reissue it for Friday as an approaching storm system makes its way across the region. You have a good snowpack on the ground, but man, hasn't our crews, they've just done a great job with getting all the snow and the ice, and so that's making really people's driving a lot better. No icy conditions tonight with all this high pressure. It has settled in, and that's why we saw sunshine today. A similar situation for a good chunk of your day tomorrow before our next storm. Wind flow, not too bad right now. We saw the mountain peak areas from Kaiser, Cumberland picking up this afternoon, but things have started to die down, and so that's going to allow the warmer temperatures that I'm talking about. It's very slight in nature, but out of the negative digits and back into the teens and the 20s right now, and so that's a lot better compared to what we saw 24 hours ago. Good evening, Martinsburg, 10 degrees out towards western Maryland, making your way out towards northern Virginia in the teens as well. The coolest spots right now across the DMV, Woodstock into Luray, single digits, and so really the rest of the evening into overnight, where we typically see our overnight lows coming in 4-5 a.m. we'll still be at about 20 degrees compared to a -2 that we dealt with last night. So a lot better, upper 30s for daytime highs as we go into your Thursday, but we do have another drop in our highs, and I mean this one's significant along with this snow. We'll talk about that snow forecast and temperatures back in the teens for daytime highs coming up.
All right, the moment you step outside, you're likely feeling that very bitter cold air and then seeing these sidewalks that are slick and slippery. The recent snowstorm and icy conditions have really left all of these walkways across D.C. pretty treacherous for people to walk to work, school, or just run some errands. We have our reporter Marielle Carbone live along Rhode Island Avenue in Northwest tonight, and it's just one of so many problem areas throughout the city. Marielle, who's supposed to be shoveling all of these sidewalks?
Well, Susan, under D.C. law, neighbors and residents who own property are responsible for clearing those icy sidewalks within about 8 hours of a storm. But you can see that is not the case here. So much ice on Rhode Island Avenue. We saw mothers pushing babies and people pushing grocery carts, trying to maneuver over the sheet of ice here. All the while, they tell us it's dangerous. From bike paths to bridges, streets and sidewalks, patches of ice persist around the district.
Pretty icy. A lot of ice, a lot of salt.
I mean, it's not the best to be walking up and down ice.
Mitch McQuaid made his usual commute to work Wednesday, walking about 25 minutes along the sidewalk here on Rhode Island Avenue Northwest. What he saw?
The sidewalks definitely have been covered in ice.
A concern as overnight temperatures remain below freezing.
And you're certainly worried. I've seen a couple people actually running up and down the sidewalk, and I think they're crazy for that. I almost slipped and fall once on the way back from work.
According to DC code, property owners must clear their sidewalks within the first 8 hours of daylight after any snow or sleet falls. Failure to do so can lead to a $25 fine for residential property owners and a $150 fine for commercial property owners.
I didn't know that was a fine.
Emily Beam was surprised to hear that after trekking over slippery walkways.
It's definitely slippery, so I'm just walking very slowly and carefully and trying not to fall.
With more winter weather predicted for Friday,
I will probably take the bus on Friday instead of walk.
And there is a sidewalk shoveling exemption that you can apply for if you're 65 and older, or if you have a disability. Chris and Susan, if you see sidewalks like this or even roadways, you can report that to the city by calling 311. Reporting live in Northwest tonight, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
And Marielle, thanks. Certainly dangerous out there. Meanwhile, we're monitoring some big water main breaks here in our area. In Arlington, crews are working on this one. It's at 25th Street South near 23rd Street South. That's right by a Wells Fargo. Crews say the work is expected to wrap up within the next half hour or so. Of course, we'll keep you updated. And just into our newsroom now at 9 o'clock, a water main break in Northwest D.C. has now been fixed. It flooded Columbia Road between 11th and Irving Streets. That's in Columbia Heights. D.C. Water saying as many as 65 homes were affected.
Let's stay in Southeast D.C. now, where cleanup continues. We're talking about dozens of families who saw sewage back up into their homes when a main broke. Now, crews, they worked overnight to make so many repairs. You can see them working here. These homes are along the D.C.-Maryland border. And here's the thing, because of that, there's been plenty of finger pointing as to who's responsible for fixing the problem. One person says it took more than 12 hours for DC Water to respond, only to be told it was not their problem.
If they had come out when we called them, we wouldn't have this issue. I think that the length of time that it took them to respond and to find fault to WSSC was here with 15 to 30 minutes after they called. We probably could have got this rectified a lot sooner.
Now, it's not clear what caused the sewer main to break, but the water agency is now offering hotel stays to people whose homes were flooded.
And developing now at 9 o'clock, D.C. police are asking for you to be on the lookout for this baby blue Mercedes. You can see it here. It's wanted in connection to a shooting in Petworth today. Police say a man was shot in the arm on Upshur Street in front of Powell's Barbershop. That area in part of Ward 4, which according to D.C. crime data, has recorded 6 crimes involving weapons since the beginning of this year. Neighbors say they are fed up with all the violence.
Because I'm thinking about getting me a gun. I'm really thinking about getting me a gun. Because this is crazy. I'm afraid. I'm afraid to walk these streets. I've been living around here for 25 years. And I've never been this afraid.
All right, here now, another look at the car wanted in connection to that shooting. Again, it happened outside of Powell's Barbershop, but again, they're looking for a baby blue Mercedes. If you recognize that car, give D.C. police a call.
An all-encompassing anti-crime bill in D.C. has made it through its first hurdle. A council public safety committee unanimously approving it, and the proposal now goes to the full council. This is legislation that combines dozens of previous safety proposals all into one. It includes things like harsher penalties for shoplifting and some gun-related crimes, and gives police more leeway on how they can physically handle suspects during car chases. Ward 2 Council member Brooke Pinto introduced this omnibus bill a week ago, and Mayor Muriel Bowser has signaled that she would sign it if it reaches her desk.
Well, for more than 60 years, some of the hardest math classes in Alexandria, Virginia, were taught by one of the most beloved teachers.
Louis Kokonis worked at the high school until his very final days, and his students remembering him for teaching them not just calculus, but a whole number of life lessons.
Yeah, what a gem, right? Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Max Marcilla has more on how the community is honoring him.
At his celebration of life, Lou Kokonis' legacy is on display. And here it is, those standing, current and former students of the math teacher who began teaching in Alexandria in 1959 and didn't finish until days before his passing at the age of 91 in 2024.
His longevity as a teacher is not just a testament to the Titans and to ACPS, but to education overall.
In the auditorium at the school where he taught calculus to so many, a fitting photo on display for all to see.
Even on holidays, Lou would find a quiet corner of the couch and set up shop grading homework and working out math problems.
Kokonis' loved ones holding on to the memories and hearing new ones from his ACPS family.
I will never forget the night he worked the dance, and he came with his papers and books and sat beside the door and corrected papers while he was on duty. I said, "Go, Mr. Kokonis."
By one estimate, Lou Kokonis taught about 7,000 students here in Alexandria. Students who were learning that calculus from him in December, and students who learned it decades ago and maybe forgot some of the math. Both of them, now just 2 weeks after his passing, are remembering the impact he had.
I am sad that I won't be seeing him anymore, but I'm happy that we get to spend time together and make good memories, as those close to our hearts never truly leave us.
Teaching is often a thankless job, but not the case for Mr. Kokonis.
I told him that sometimes we need to allow people to express their appreciation for what we do in this profession and for what we've done for them.
And through the pain of their loss, some joy in reflecting on the man who challenged and changed generations. In Alexandria, Max Marcella, DC News Now.